sounds so innocent. It's not innocent. When there's $100 billion a year, they sell stuff into us. We charge them practically nothing.
That was President Trump last night in Pennsylvania. We're going to bring in now Nigel Farage, former UK Independence Party leader and Fox News contributor. You know, Nigel, a lot of the president's critics have said his views on tariffs are going to hurt him. You heard a lot of the same things on Brexit, that if you Brexit, your ability to trade will be undercut. What do you say about the comparisons?
Well, absolutely. I mean, thank goodness at last a world leader is calling out the European Union. Look, when Trump announced 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum as tariffs, the European Union were the loudest critics in the world, saying how dreadful it was. Without telling anybody, they'd already put tariffs on aluminum and on steel and on virtually every American product that comes into Europe. So they're guilty, the European Union, of absolute gross hypocrisy. They really, really are. And look, once again, President Trump is doing what he told the American electorate he would do during the election campaign. That is called democracy.
Nigel, I read some of the European press, the British press, okay, admittedly some Daily Mail, but I will say this, when I read the comment section, not necessarily the articles, but the comment section, it seems like a lot of Europeans are saying, hey, I wish we had someone like Trump, you know, in our country doing things like this, having this kind of success. So the elites maybe have a different opinion of him. The people, what do you say?
Well, look, you see, Brexit, Trump, the election results in Italy last week, they're all part of the same phenomenon. You know, we're all part of a movement against what has happened over the last 2 or 3 decades, which is kind of the victory of bureaucracy over democracy. Countries selling out to higher supranational institutions, having foreign courts making decisions for them. So we're all part of this same phenomenon. And I think in my country particularly, what people are absolutely crying out for is firm, strong leadership. And, you know, whether you like Donald Trump as a person, whether you find his style a bit brash, frankly isn't the point. Firstly, he does what he'll say he do. And secondly, through strong leadership, he gets things done. You know, if I'd said to you a month ago there was a genuine prospect of Trump meeting the North Korean boss, Kim Jong Un, you know, you'd have asked me where I got this fantasy idea from. And yet Trump's the president making it happen. So, you know, the newspaper editorials can say what they like. They can be skeptical about this meeting with North Korea. But I think the people in my country and across Europe are getting used to Donald Trump, and they now realize this is a guy of real substance.
Nigel, to your point on North Korea, when months ago Donald Trump started giving out the nicknames and Rocket Man and tweeting and saying before the TV cameras, you're going to get fire and fury if you go after Guam or any piece of America, the mainstream media here in the U.S. and some around the world said, this is absurd, he's going to start World War III. To your point, that doesn't look like it. Now look at these headlines. New York Times, word of Trump-Kim summit meeting stirs concern in Asia. BBC, Trump and North Korea talks, the political gamble of the 21st century. And CNN, finally, the week Trump rewarded enemies and punished friends. Before it was he's starting World War III. Now he's trying to get to the peace table, and they're still not happy.
Yeah, I remember, you know, I'm old enough to remember Ronald Reagan and all those same newspapers, all those same media outlets saying Reagan was an idiot, he wasn't fit to be US president. And then the big Reykjavik summit that he had with Soviet Russia, Star Wars, America winning the Cold War, the Berlin Wall coming down, tens of millions of people living in freedom, liberty and democracy, and still those media organizations would never credit Ronald Reagan with anything. And I think right now, if Donald Trump, you know, invented a cure for the common cold, they would still find a reason to criticize him.
That's probably true.
They would say, why didn't he do it sooner, Nigel? Why not sooner?
Nigel Farage, always ahead of the curve. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.